All right. Welcome, everybody, to semi-final day for the ladies. We've got crazy matchups. One very insane matchup, and the second one, a very random matchup, but still interesting. Very interesting matchups. Of course, men's semi-finals tomorrow. Those matches are crazy too. And then the final is on on Saturday for the ladies, Sunday for the men. But what's going on? How are we doing? Are we ready? After yesterday's long-ass day, are we ready? These two have played on clay so many times. So many times. Way more times than I thought. But here we go. Here we go. The best match first, or at least probably the match we were hoping for first. The second match is a little bit more unpredictable and a little bit strange, and we're going to figure out what that looks like. But I think it's interesting in different ways. You know, this is an interesting match because Sabalenka and Swiatek have only played second time at a slam. This is the second time. And again, never in a slam final. They nearly played in a slam final twice. Australia this year, they were this close, 1 point away. And then, of course, French Open in 2023. We were also this close with match points. Sabalenka lost on that day. Swiatek lost this year. So we get it. It's a cruel joke by the tennis gods, but we get a semi-final with Swiatek Sabalenka after missing out on finals for so long. And they have played some great finals, right? We had the Madrid final last year, and that was crazy. But we don't have a final this time. We have a semi-final. Hopefully, it's as good as every match they've played before. On the clay courts, by the way, Sabalenka's never beaten Swiatek. 6-0. 2 times it's gone 3 sets. One time it was, of course, that epic match of the year 2024 outside of the slams. They did play in Rome as well the week after that, or 2 weeks later, and it wasn't as good. They have played at Madrid a couple of times, Stuttgart a couple of times, Rome a couple of times. They've never played at Roland Garros, so this is the first time they're playing at this, but they played twice each at all the other big tournaments leading into this tournament. So here we go. What does that mean? I don't know. Swiatek's not playing as well as she was when she was beating Sabalenka. Sabalenka won their last match. It was back in Cincinnati last year. Sabalenka on the hard courts. She leads the head-to-head there. Level head-to-head 3-3. So the head-to-head's 8-4, obviously in favor of Swiatek. But when it's played on the outdoor hard courts, it's even. When it's played on the clay, it's Swiatek. But yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup. We'll see what happens. We will find out what happens. They only ever played a slam once before. And it was the semifinals of US Open 22. Sabalenka 4-2 up in the third. Looked like Sabalenka was going to get it done. Swiatek came back and won, and then went on to win the title. Of course, Sabalenka in 2022 still had serving issues. So that was maybe part of the reason why she didn't get that title, get that win that day. And then after that, Sabalenka was a different player. That was almost like the turning point of Sabalenka's serving problems. You know, she was the double fault queen for a while, which was something you don't want to ever be. And she was down 4-2. Kind of the year before that, she double faulted her way out of a match against Fernandez in the semi-finals, and then she does it again against Swiatek. And of course, only 6 months later, she goes on and wins the Australian Open. And now she's the best player on the planet. She's got a bunch of slams, and she's trying to beat the Queen of Clay for the first time on a clay court. I love this match. I mean, this is unfortunately not the final, but then again, Gauff in the final against one of these ladies is not a bad final either. Let's just hope they're all epic matches. How we doing, chap? What's going on? Sabalenka the favorite, by the way, slight favorite. It's very much like Djokovic versus Zverev yesterday. Very similar favorites. Very similar odds. But how are we doing? Are we ready? By the way, back-to-back matches too. They go back-to-back here, whereas in tomorrow, the men's match, first one starts a little bit earlier than this. Second one starts at 7 p.m. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I know why they do that, but I don't like why they do that. So, why do they do that? We know why. Doesn't mean we have to like it. Doesn't mean we have to like why they do it. 1,000 days from... It's exactly 1,000 days since they played at a slam against each other. That's crazy. That is an insane stat. How does someone know that? How does someone even look to Google that? That's crazy. That is a crazy thing to do. Let's talk about this week for a little bit while the players are about to come out on court. So, in this matchup, this week, they've both played 5 matches each. Swiatek has spent 8 hours and 48 minutes on court. Sabalenka 7 hours and 7 minutes. So, Swiatek an hour and a half extra. Of course, has had a couple of tougher matches. They've both played... Sabalenka has not dropped a set all week. She's won all their matches in straight sets with Anisimova and Zhang the only ones to really push her in a first set. Whereas Swiatek has had to battle through Raducanu. She was battling second sets against both Christian and Svitolina. So she's had a lot more time on court. Had to play a lot tougher matchups. Serving percentages, because this is where Swiatek kind of, sometimes gets a little vulnerable. 9 aces, 17 double faults for Swiatek. 25 aces and 10 double faults for Sabalenka, so pretty good for her. Swiatek is winning 70% of first serve points, 56% of second serve points for the tournament. That's actually not too bad, considering she's played Raducanu, who we all know can return. Sabalenka's also got pretty much the same stats, so they're pretty even in the serving stats for the week, except for the ace double fault ratio. Holds of serve, Swiatek's been broken only 6 times, and so has Sabalenka, only 6 times. So that's an interesting little stat there as well. They have broken their opponents 31 times and 22 times respectively. 22 for Sabalenka, 31 for Swiatek. But Swiatek, of course, has played a little bit more tennis, so that's why. But here we go, chat. Players are about to come out on court. I think the roof is closed because it's meant to be crappy weather, so we'll see. But let us see what happens. This is a great... probably my favorite match up on the WTA. This is my favorite. For so long as 1v2, and it's only been 3 weeks ago where it hasn't been 1v2, it's been 1v5, which doesn't make any sense. It should still be at least 1v4, right? But Swiatek obviously dropping a lot of points because she set the bar so high for herself, and then she wasn't able to play at the end of last year, which gave up a lot of points that she could have maybe used for this to buffer this tournament and whatever. But she is obviously not the 5th best player on the planet. She's higher than that. She's probably 3rd at least. Swiatek hasn't won a title in 12 months though. A lot of things have happened in those 12 months, but hasn't won a title since 12 months ago. But if Sabalenka's going to get her first win against Swiatek on clay, today is probably her best shot. Because we haven't seen Swiatek in this sort of form on clay, right? We're used to seeing her being unstoppable on clay, and everyone else is how many games you're going to get, right? It's not even about how many if you're going to win. So can you make it interesting? But now, 2025, Swiatek is vulnerable on clay. We've had Penko, Collins, Gauff all getting wins. So if Sabalenka is going to get her first win on clay against Swiatek, today might be her best chance. Because Swiatek's going to return. She will return. Swiatek needs to play 125s or 250s. No. Definitely not. That's like... No. That's like the Lakers losing 3 games in a row and then going to play D-League. It's like, no. No. She doesn't need to go play D-League. She's fine. Maybe go play a couple more 500s. 500s are definitely worth a shot, but no, why would she drop all the way back to 125? In fact, I don't think she's allowed to play 125s because she's top 10. I think you're only allowed to play 125s if you're out of the top 10. Or even out of the top 20, I think. There's a rule for that. She can't even do that. And 250s, there's not too many 250s coming up that she'd want to play anyway. Because remember, after Wimbledon, we've got 2 weeks off. One of those weeks has a 500. And then we've got Canada, Cincinnati, US Open. There's no time to play smaller events anyway. And why would she want to, right? Last year she played the Olympics, didn't play Canada. But I think this year, after Wimbledon, she's probably going to go play Canada and really give that a shot. Australia just won a last-minute one against Japan, last-minute goal in soccer qualifications. Let's go. Are we through? I didn't see that at all, but I heard it was a sellout crowd in Perth. I think we have to win like everything, don't we? Players are about to walk in court. This feels like the final, chat. I'm not going to lie. Feels like the final. Oh, we're in the Asian League, aren't we? Hang on, how do we... Oh, okay. Oh, Japan is top of the table, so we beat Japan, did we? Did we beat them? Did you say we beat them? Anyways, players are about to walk in on court. Did we just beat them? Or it's still going? It hasn't finished yet. It's extra time. We just scored a goal in the 90th minute, but it's extra time. We haven't won yet. Yeah, after Wimbledon, Sabalenka does have a lot to defend. Rockies are cooking right now. Yeah, 3 in a row. Let's go. We are on fire. This is on clay. All right, Sabalenka, Swiatek walking out on court. Ooh. I'll tell you, yesterday, chat, that match between Djokovic and Zverev really, that announced the tournament. Usually we get the announcement for like, the stakes feel really big in like, you know, the 4th round, but for some reason, this tournament hasn't really given us like, personally, it hasn't given me a feeling of Grand Slam, you know, pressure or Grand Slam stakes. But after yesterday's Zverev versus Djokovic match, that felt like a Grand Slam match. And now I feel like we're watching a Grand Slam. I don't know why the first week didn't feel like a Grand Slam. It just felt like an extension of the... Maybe it's because the 1000s are 2 weeks and we just kind of are spoiled with 2-week events now that it just kind of takes the shine off a 2-week slam. But the first week of Roland Garros didn't really feel like a slam for me. It just kind of felt like we're just going through the motions. Now it feels like someone's winning a big trophy. 4 players down. Who's your favorite between Sinner and Djokovic? Sinner. Swiatek's streak was fun. Now it's Sabalenka to win. Yeah, Swiatek's on a massive win streak. I'll give you some stats because I know we love stats. We'll give semi-final stats first. So, semi-finals on the WTA, Swiatek, 28 wins, 16 losses at a 64% winning record. Sabalenka, 37 wins in semi-finals on the entire WTA, 18 losses at a 67%. Sabalenka's won her last 6 semi-finals on the WTA. The last time she lost a semi-final was back at the WTA finals last year. Swiatek has lost her last 4 semi-finals on the WTA. She hasn't had a semi-final win since beating Raducanu at the United Cup. So, very different streaks at the moment. Swiatek trying to break the semi-final losing streak, and Sabalenka trying to extend the winning streak. So, if we're talking about semi-finals on their own, Sabalenka's much, much better at the moment. In Slam semi-finals, Sabalenka has 5 wins, 5 losses, so she's had her moments. Swiatek has 5 wins, 2 losses at Slams. So when we get to the semis of a Slam, that is what happens. Sabalenka is a 50-50. Swiatek, 71% winning record at Slams in the semis. So there you go. Also, Swiatek at Roland Garros, 40 wins, 2 losses at Roland Garros. 40-2. And I read somewhere, let me just find it. Apparently, she has the best winning percentage equaling in the Open era, which equals Margaret Court at 95.2%. 40 wins, 2 losses. Highest winning percentage from any woman in the WTA. I'm assuming that Rafa's in that too because he doesn't have a 95. He has like a 93 or something, right? So highest winning percentage at Roland Garros in the Open era, Swiatek shares that with Margaret Court. If Swiatek goes on to win this tournament, she will be sole leader in that category. 95.2% winning record. Crazy. And also, is the second fastest player to claim 40 main draw wins at Roland Garros, which equals Bjorn Borg. Only Rafa did it faster. So equals second behind Rafa to get to 40 wins with less matches. Rafa got to 40 wins with 41 matches. Swiatek got to 40 wins with 42 matches. So, chat, I mean, you got to say this because I feel like we talk about it every year, but it doesn't seem to get appreciated how good Swiatek is at Roland Garros. Like, she is one of the greatest players to ever play this event. And we know it's like she's young and it's early and she's going to go on and do more. But holy shit, like, she is up there with Borg and Rafa when it comes to percentages of wins and doing what they did. Crazy. And if she does win this tournament again, she'll be the first player in the Open era to win 4 in a row on the women's side. Players have won 3 in a row. Justine and Monica won 3 in a row, but no one's won 4 in a row. And 5 in 6 years is crazy. Like, that is crazy. Plus, if she wins this tournament, she's already out second most consecutive wins at Roland Garros behind Chris Evert. But if she wins this tournament and makes it to like the 3rd round next year, she'll have that record too. So, again, Swiatek is one of the greatest French Open players we've ever seen. But because she hasn't won 14 slams here, we don't recognize it because, you know, Rafa did 14. Nobody can ever compete with that, and we're still trying to, you know, we're still trying to forget what he did so we can appreciate what other players can do. But she is incredible here. This is her favorite event. No, this is her Rafa at Roland Garros, right? She is the female Rafa at the moment. Can Sabalenka be the 3rd player to beat her here? That is the question. That will be the question. When's it going to start? It's going to start in like 3 minutes. They're just warming up. I'll give you some Sabalenka stats because I know Sabalenka fans are like, what about us? I'll give you some stats. Second time these two have played against each other at a slam. So far, she's won 39 matches this year, Sabalenka. Of course, which is the most of the whole year of anybody. She's made 6 finals, the most entering Roland Garros since Serena in 2013. 6 finals this year, Sabalenka. Most since Serena, over a decade ago. They just warm up the serves. Also, the first player to make it to the first 2 semifinals of the Slam year, Australian Open and French Open, since Simona Halep. Did it back in 2018, where she also made the Australian Open semis and the French Open semis. So she's rewritten something that happened 7 years ago. Was 2018 7 years ago or 3? I think it was 3 years ago. Also her 11th Grand Slam semi-final, which is the most since 2020, with Swiatek at 7, second most, and a bunch of players with 5 semi-finals of slams since 2020. So Sabalenka, Slam Sabalenka. That is what it is. She is the best player, or the most successful player, or at least the most consistent slam player of the 2020s, is Sabalenka. And she's number 1. Who knew? In the 5 years that we've been in the 2020s, she has made more slam semis than anybody else. All right, chat. Swiatek's going to serve. We are ready to go. This match, one day will be a final of a slam. One day will be a final, chat. But not today. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Who you got winning this one, chat? I've got Swiatek in 3. Clay courts make the difference for me. Swiatek is 5-1 against Sabalenka on a clay court, with Madrid 23 the only time. And remember, Madrid is not Roland Garros. Different conditions, different speeds. Swiatek for me in 3. As Swiatek serves to the backhand of Sabalenka, return the net, 15 love. $15 love. I think clay court Swiatek's gonna thrive. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As a return goes in, the back of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out, 15-0. Now, I know what you're probably asking. Cam, how many times has Swiatek beaten the world number one? Well, not many, because she has been the number one for so long. And you can't play the number one when you're the number one. But she has beaten Sabalenka at the WTA Finals back in 2023. Sabalenka was 1, Swiatek was 2. She's also played Barty twice and lost both of those matches before Swiatek became Swiatek. She was just another Grand Slam player amongst a lot of Grand Slam players between 2019 and 2022. All right, 15-30. So 3 times she's played the world number one. She's won once out of the 3. This is the first time she's playing a number one at the Grand Slam. She has played Sabalenka at a Grand Slam, but she wasn't number one. All right, 15-30. And Swiatek serves. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Good return. Swiatek slices it back. Sabalenka forehand again. Swiatek on the stretch. Just goes wide. And it's Sabalenka with the break points to start the match. 15-40. Swiatek serves. A fault. Second serve. Now, Swiatek hasn't made a final except for the United Cup. But in her own singles, hasn't made a final yet this year. She's lost 4 semis in a row and double faults. Double faults to start the match. And gets broken to start the match. All right. Here we go. 1-love Sabalenka. Not a good start, no. Her serve has been the issue. Over the last couple of... probably the last 12 months, I reckon her serve, since winning the French, her serve has really been an issue. Really, she's really struggled. As Swiatek gets ready to go. 1-love. Sabalenka with the break. And Sabalenka faults. Second serve. Second serve. As a return goes to the back of Sabalenka. Forehand from Swiatek into the forehand of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand. Down the line winner. That's better. See, that's when Swiatek's playing her best, when she's hitting into the corners. That's what you want to see from Swiatek. All right. Love 15. There's a fault. Second serve. Serve to the back of Swiatek. Back in now from Sabalenka to the back of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out. 15-0. Hey, Soul Power, thank you for becoming a member again. Sticking around as a Tier 3 member. Appreciate that. 15-0. All. Let's get a fault. Second serve. As a return goes to forehand of Sabalenka. Swiatek slice. Goes wide. And it's 30-15. Sabalenka just staring down the umpire. Sabalenka's getting annoyed. I don't know what she's getting annoyed at. something wrong? Did she hurt her back? Has Sabalenka hurt herself? I think she was stretching out her back. Ace out wide. She was kind of doing this one. Something's not right. 40-15. She gave the coaches a look like, uh-oh. She's winning though, so 40-15. 7 to the back of Swiatek return. Goes to the forehand of Sabalenka. Swiatek, forehand of the stretch. Sabalenka comes in with a volley. Swiatek's going to get there with a slice lob, but it's too short. And Swiatek, volleys it back, but then Sabalenka puts it away, and Sabalenka 2-love. All right, let's keep an eye on Sabalenka's movements. Because something seems wrong. All right, advantage to Sabalenka to start us off. 2-love. Two zero. Seven to the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand of Swiatek to the backhand. Nope. That goes out by Swiatek. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes in from Sabalenka. What a return. Love 30. That was off a first serve. Sabalenka has just come out here ultra aggressive. Love 30. That return was mean. You can see the clay on the ball just stay behind. Like she hits the ball and the clay just dust comes out of it. She smacked the dust off the ball. All right, love 30. As a default second serve. Second serve. Down the tee, the back end of Sabalenka. Return goes in the forehand of Swiatek, who hits a winner. 15-30. $15.30. Swiatek serves a fault again. Second serve. As a return. Goes back to Swiatek. Off the tape goes wide and it's 15-40. Sabalenka for the double break. $15.40. Swiatek serves again. To the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand. Cross-court winner. Oh, Sabalenka nearly slipped. She's okay, though. Almost fell over. That was dangerous. 30-40. 30-40. All right, serve again. That's what a fault. Second serve. By the way, almost at 500 likes already. Thank you for that. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. 30-40. Second serve. To the back end of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand. Again to the back end of Sabalenka. Swiatek with a forehand cross. Goes long. There's the double break. 3-love. Oh, wait. Hang on. Umpire's going to check. Umpire's double checking. It's out. 3-love. Sabalenka is on fire. 3-love. All right. 10 minutes. 3-love. Now, remember yesterday, and I know it was a different match, different players. Keys was up 4-1 against Gauff with a double break, and then all of a sudden, it was 4-all. But then again, Sabalenka's not Keys. No one compares to Rafa on clay. Okay? Why are people getting upset about Rafa on clay? Who is comparing Rafa to Rafa? How does Swiatek look? She looks... she's not angry, but she looks shocked. She just looks like... Look, we know about the Swiatek slow start. We know that. But you can't afford to do that against... You can't afford to have a slow start against Sabalenka. All right, confirm that the roof is shut. Sabalenka wants this to get this over and done with? Yeah. Okay. Sabalenka to serve. Just waiting for people to find their seats. Yep, crowd is packed. All right, 3-love. As the return goes out by Swiatek. 15-love. 15-love. As we return now from Swiatek, short into the forehand of Sabalenka. Nice shot, but Swiatek gets with a forehand. Goes in by Sabalenka on the volley. Swiatek in the net with a slice. Man, Swiatek didn't a bad shot. She just hit it straight to Sabalenka. 30-love. All right. Sabalenka serves again. A fault, second serve. I'm ready to stay up till 2 a.m. Serve in the back of Swiatek. Good return. That's a great return. 30-15. Sabalenka serves again. In the back of Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand to the forehand of Swiatek. And Sabalenka slice. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Again, the forehand of Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand down the line. That's a winner. 30-all. That was a great shot by Swiatek. 30-all. Sabalenka serves again. Into the forehand Swiatek. Good return. Sabalenka gets it. Goes long though, and it's 30-40. Breakback point for Swiatek to get one back. 30-40. Sabalenka serves. To the backhand of Swiatek. Good return. Sabalenka hits it off the tape. Swiatek inside out. Backhand is out. Sabalenka's just tapping her head. She's like, let's just keep things sorted here. I think Sabalenka feels like that was a little bit lucky that she didn't get broken there. Deuce. Serve again. Into the backhand is a fault. Second serve. Penko could crush Swiatek. Yeah, but she ain't here anymore, so no need to talk about Penko. She ain't here. All right, deuce. Second serve. To the backhand, Swiatek. Good. Return goes long. Advantage Sabalenka. Sabalenka to take the 4-love lead. Sabalenka serves. A fault. Second serve. Serve to the backhand, Swiatek. Backhand of Sabalenka. Swiatek slice. Into the backhand of Sabalenka, who hits a drop shot. Swiatek's going to get there and hit a backhand cross-court winner. Back to deuce. Nice hitting by Swiatek. Can you please tell people about something about nasty comments? You're usually so sensitive. Why not today? What do you mean I'm sensitive? Chat, be nice. All right, deuce. Sabalenka serves a fault, second serve. By the way, everyone counting out Swiatek at 3-love in the first set is crazy. As a backhand return now from Swiatek, Sabalenka forehand, and Swiatek backhand inside out winner. Swiatek's warmed up now. All right. Advantage Swiatek. To take back one of the breaks. Sabalenka serves. A fault. I hope Swiatek doesn't try and just hit this aggressively for a return. I want to see her set the point up better. Second serve. Into the back of Swiatek. Return goes in the front of Sabalenka, and that's just too good. Sabalenka just too good. That was a big second serve as well. Back to deuce. Can't call in the match and locked in. I know, right? I'm trying. That's why I got moderators. So then when I'm not here, when I'm not focusing, then they can clean the chat. But also, you should be... Come on now. Respect each other's favorite player. All right, second serve. Second serve into the back end of Swiatek. Sabalenka forehand goes out. Swiatek starting to hit smart returns. Advantage Swiatek to get one of the breaks back. All right. Advantage Swiatek. There's a return. Goes in! Or does it? It is in! Swiatek breaks back. Hits a first serve return down the line winner. It was a little lucky. I don't think she meant to hit it that well. But she gets a break back, 3-1. Where are those bagels now? Where are all those bagel callers now? Oh, there's got to be a bagel? Oh my God, I can't believe this. Come on now. All right. 3-1. 20 minutes in. Now the match begins. 3-1. Swiatek to serve. Now, that's what she's got to take care of. She's got to take care of her serve. As a default second serve. Now, that's it. The semi-final has just begun. Did you see the schedule? Yeah. I already knew it from yesterday. I already heard it. It's silly. All right, love 15. Love 15. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve to the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand again to the back of Sabalenka. Hits a winner down the line. Love 30. Swiatek just not making Sabalenka move at all in that point. Love 30. As we default second serve. Double fault. Love 40. Her serve has been the problem so far. She's just scared of the returns, I think. That's what she's... Just doesn't want Sabalenka to hit return winners. But she's making double faults, and that doesn't help either. Love 40. Serve to the back of Sabalenka. Return goes back to Swiatek. Down the line's a winner. That was better. 15-40. I think, and Chad, I know this is probably stating the obvious, but Swiatek does need... I don't even think she needs like a serving, like biomechanical, blah, blah, blah. I think she just needs someone who... Or she just needs Wim Fizet, and he probably is doing this because this is part of his job. But, like, they just need to set up some better serving kind of patterns. Like, rather than her just trying to hit harder first serves, I feel like she needs to hit smarter first serves. And then smart second serves. Rather than just trying to, like... And look, maybe she's... I don't know, maybe she doesn't have that in her, but she gets broken again, 4-1. But, like, someone like a Barty, right, who... Even Ons Jabeur, right? They were never, like, vulnerable on serve. Paolini, right? Never really... We don't talk about Paolini's soft serving or double faults, right? Because she doesn't seem to do them, even though she's not a big server. So there are players out there that are, you know, not as strong as Swiatek in the serving department, but still seem to have managed to avoid, you know, getting attacked on the second serves, but also avoid double faulting, right, out of nerves. So there's definitely hope for her. Like, it's not like, oh, well, she can't serve anymore. That's it. It's over. No coming back from this. I feel like that's a better... rather than trying to be more aggressive, I feel like that's just... It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be overnight, but I think she can get these big hitters out of position by serving in the spots rather than trying to hit aces. You know? Like more precision and less power. Because the harder you try and hit a ball, chat, the less control you have of the ball, which means the more likely it is to go all over the place. Right? But if you slow it down and hit the ball a little bit slower, then you can get a little more control and you can pick the spots a little better, right? on the serve especially, because the serve is the only shot in tennis that you have ultimate control over, right? You get to throw the ball up. You get to hit it exactly how and where you want to hit it. Every other shot, you're sort of reacting to what the other person's doing, right? But the serve is the only thing that you control. You get to start that. And I guess she wants to hit try and hit it bigger. But I feel like she was playing much better when she was precise rather than being aggressive. Hitting the ball hard down the middle compared to her spinning it into the corners. I mean, she's got to bring back the Rafa stuff. She's not playing like Rafa anymore. She was playing like Rafa when she was at her best 12 months ago. You know, she was playing. She had that Rafa spin, and she was doing like it felt like, you know, female Rafa, right? As the slice goes into the net from Swiatek, 30-15. Get Roddick as a serve coach. No, I don't think you should get a powerful serve coach. I feel like you need to get someone. I mean, look, Roger Federer, right? Like, she's not going to get him, but like, you know, examples of players that are very effective servers but are not big hitters, big servers, right? Obviously, you can go to John Isner and you can go to all these Andy Roddicks, right? But I don't think that necessarily will help, because they're going to tell her, well, Andy probably is a spot server anyway, but he's also got the power. But I think that, like, you need to go to someone who's an effective server that doesn't blast the ball, because I don't think her hitting the ball harder is working. And she's missing more first serves, which means the second serve is super vulnerable. Anyways, 30-all, chance here to get one of the breaks back again, but she hits it out, Swiatek, and it's 40-30. I mean, getting someone like a Sam Stosur or like a Barty, you know, they had great serves. Considering, I mean, but obviously Stosur was super, super strong, but she was more known for a kick serve, right? I don't think you can make Swiatek into Sabalenka. Like, that's not the play. There's no point in trying to make Swiatek be Sabalenka. She was beating Sabalenka by being Swiatek. She wasn't beating Sabalenka because she was playing like Sabalenka, right? 40-30. Stosur had one of the best kick serves ever. So, like, trying to get maybe Stosur involved, I mean, it's hard because they're all, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone else you could get. Who else is who's a great server on the WTA that's not necessarily someone that you would be surprised was a great server? You know, you don't want to get a big, tall player because you can't teach someone to be 6'2". You know, but who was a sneaky good server on the WTA that was maybe not the tallest player ever? As with a 4 out, goes out by Sabalenka. No, it's going in. It's going to go in off the frame. No, it's not. It didn't make the net. All right, deuce. Let me have a look. Even getting like a Justine Henin. Could she get Radwanska? Not the biggest server, but played Serena a lot, so that could be something. I mean, the Polish connection too, right? Sabalenka in the net. This crowd's starting to go for Swiatek now. All right, Swiatek. Swiatek a chance to take back one of the breaks, but Sabalenka served too strong out wide. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. As a return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka, Swiatek backhand goes long, and it's advantage Sabalenka. Advantage Sabalenka. I'll tell you what, chat. One of the big letdowns of the WTA is that they somehow do not have the records of the ace count for the ladies. How does a website that has the WTA not have something as simple as the records of their own competition? The most aces in the whole of the WTA. I can't find that answer off the top of my head because apparently it's not on the website. As the backhand return goes down the line for Swiatek, it's a winner and it's deuce. The ATP have it like front and center. Like, here's the guy with the most aces, 2, 3, 4, 5. WTA is just like, huh? What do you mean? WTA ace count? Why would we count those? It's crazy, man. Like, how are we supposed to learn about the WTA if you can't give us the records? I can tell you how many matches players won and trophies, but nothing to do with any other thing that matters. Who's the best server? I don't know. We don't have the records. We lost them. Anyway, Sabalenka gets it out and it's advantage Swiatek. I'm going to guess that it was maybe Serena. I don't know. It's crazy, man. All right. Advantage Swiatek to get one of the breaks back again. Advantage Swiatek. Yeah, maybe Pliskova. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. The records they've been lost to time. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka, forehand Swiatek is a winner. That was much better, but again, it's on the returner serve. She needs to do this on the serving side of things. I wonder, chat, and I'll tell you who did this to very much an effect. Jannik Sinner cleaned house. I want to say when did Darren Cahill start working with? When did Cahill and Vignosi start working with Sinner? When did he start working together? February 2022. Sinner went, you know what? Everybody get out of the box. Everyone's out. And he got rid of everybody. He cleaned house. He fired everybody in the team. He got rid of the coach. He got rid of the trainers. He got rid of everyone. And he brought in all these new people, including Darren Cahill. And Vignosi also jumped on. But, and obviously the trainers that ended up, getting fired anyway because of the thing that happened last year. But he did that after, maybe not reaching the potential as quickly as he'd want, right? 2022, 2020, middle of 2022, Sinner was like a good player, up and coming, but Alcaraz was starting to rise and everyone's going, what about this other guy? And now look at him. And I'm not saying Swiatek needs to clean house because she kind of just did that with her coach. But does she need a full reset after the last 12 months? No, and that goes out by Sabalenka 30 love. And look, Wim Fizet's he's been a great coach. He's had, he's obviously been great. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about everybody. Does she just go, you know what? Get rid of all the bad memories. Because unfortunately, the people that were there when she got pinged for taking a tablet, blah, 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 they're still there. And there's probably still memories attached to that situation because everyone was there. Maybe it brings them all together. I don't know. But also, maybe it's worth just starting anew with everybody. Is that something to do? 30 love. Is it a backhand rally? Swiatek with a forehand. Into the volley of Sabalenka, who puts it wide, and it's 40 love. This is a much better game. Does she need to clean the slate? Because I think if you just get rid of the coach, bring a new coach in with the same other people in the team, I feel like it's almost like when you bring in a head coach to a team sport and they fire they get rid of the physios and they bring their own people in, right? If you bring a coach into a situation where everybody else is sort of remembering the old coach, you want the coach to sort of drive the team, right? So maybe it's worth getting rid of everybody, starting from scratch and getting a coach who will then get the people. I'm sure that's what Patrick Mouratoglou does, right? He comes in and he goes, all right, I'll bring in my guy for this and that and the other thing, and we'll build a team around me and you, right? Rather than a coach coming into a team that's already been established by the last person who was there or by the player. Is that worth it? Is that worth a shot? I don't know. Sabalenka with a winner, 40-30. By the way, we're firing the coach. He hasn't even lost yet, but I'm just saying, like, is it worth a refresh? Even if she wins this tournament. $40-30. Still game point for Swiatek to hold for the first time, and she does. All right. By the way, Swiatek, nice kick serve out wide to Sabalenka's backhand. Sabalenka wasn't able to get it back. That's hopefully she'll remember that shot. She doesn't need to hit the ball hard to hit winners, or to at least win points. Goran's working with Steph, so that ain't going to happen. All right. 3-4. Sabalenka still got the break, though. Can Swiatek win this match? Of course. Of course you can. Someone was asking if you could explain the kick serve. Not without... No. That's tennis 105. Like, kick serves are not tennis 101. We do tennis 101 here, where it's just simple. Kick serves are a little more complicated than that. And also, I don't have a racket or a ball or any vision I can show you because it's a little hard to explain with words. And the whiteboard won't suffice. I have to show you with a racket and a ball, and I don't have either of those things here. The whiteboard won't work for that. Stop screaming, you look. Huh? Are you okay? All right. 4-3. Swiatek is hanging on. Still not back yet. But is hanging on and has broken Sabalenka twice. There's a fault from Sabalenka, second serve. Second serve. Double fault. Love 15. Love 15. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Swiatek returns the back of Sabalenka down the line. Goes long by Sabalenka, and Swiatek's got to love 30, and Sabalenka's starting to yell. This crowd's starting to go for Swiatek too. Love 30, and Sabalenka's starting to get a little annoyed. Remember, chat, in Sabalenka's mind, even though from our point of view, Sabalenka has been playing well so far today and also should win, Remember, Sabalenka's only beaten Swiatek once on a clay court in 6 meetings, and she's never beaten her at a slam. Plus, Sabalenka also has a 50-50 record in slam semis. So she's not like the quarterfinals where she's an automatic win, where she would know that record. She's like, I don't lose these. She does lose these. Right? We're looking at it from like, oh, okay, Sabalenka, she's playing well, she's playing better right now, blah, blah, blah. But in her head, she's probably thinking something else, right? Backhand return goes to backhand to Sabalenka. Swiatek with a backhand on the stretch. Sabalenka, cross-court winner, 30-all. She's probably thinking, I don't play great in these matches. These semifinals are my problem. And even though in reality, she's been playing great today so far, and she should win this, but she might not be thinking that and believing what we think. Because she's screaming and going crazy. She's feeling pressures. 30-all. Return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka hits it out. 30-40. 1 minute ago, Swiatek was gone. Next minute, Sabalenka is gone. Make up your mind. Hey, Paul, why don't you relax, buddy? That's the beauty of this sport. Nothing is certain until somebody wins match point. Things change. Circumstances change. Matches change. You can win 6-love and it's not over. 30-40. I picked Swiatek to win in 3 anyway, man. And pal, I mean, what the hell? Can you not be so rude? As with a fault, second serve. Second serve, Sabalenka. Double fault. All right, we're back on serve. 4-all. Sabalenka's yelling at the coaches. It's their fault. And they're just like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Sabalenka's cracked it. Swiatek's gotten back. Sabalenka's not happy. Chat. Who said, by the way, when I said, I said it. And I said, Sabalenka's not Keys. She just did what Keys did, though. Keys was up 4-1 double break, cruising until she wasn't. And now we're level. Hey, Brendan, thanks for coming back as a member. Appreciate it. 4-4. As the backhand return goes into the backhand of Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand on the stretch. Swiatek lets it bounce and hits a backhand winner. Swiatek, 15-love. $15-love. Sabalenka's starting to get pissed off. $15-love. As we default, second serve. Second serve into the backhand is let. Second serve to the backhand of Sabalenka. That's a great winner down the line. A sniper down the line. $15-all. $15-all. Serve. Into the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand in the net. 15-30. Chance for Sabalenka to break again. Serve for this set. 15-30. serve is a fault. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand down the line. Sabalenka slices it back. Goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Oh, Sabalenka's down. Swiatek hits a winner. Sabalenka went down. Sabalenka was down 30-all. Yeah, Sabalenka, she didn't roll her ankle, but she almost did. That was a scary, sketchy situation. Remember, Zverev, under the roof, did roll his ankle on a wet day, and yeah, I think Sabalenka did twist it a little bit. I was lucky, though, that she fell instead of trying to, push off, That's how Zverev did his ankle 3 years ago. And again, it was under the roof when the clay was a little sticky. 30-all. First serve is a fault. Same spot too, yeah, I know, right? Second serve. Second serve. To the backhand of Sabalenka, Swiatek forehand. Into the forehand of Sabalenka, Swiatek forehand again. To the forehand of Sabalenka, who puts it in the net. Sabalenka's is making a lot more errors now. 40-30. Feel like if Sabalenka loses this set, she is going to lose her cool. Because she was dominating at 3-love. Serve again. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. She smokes the return winner. Swiatek and Sabalenka's like, come on, everybody. Cheer my shots. All right, back to deuce. Back to deuce. This feels like this game could decide who wins this set. All right. Serve again. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand of Swiatek inside out to the slice of Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand cross court. Sabalenka puts up a lob. Goes in. To the backhand of Swiatek cross court now to the slice of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand down the line. That's a great hit. And Swiatek with a fist bump. That's more like it. From the Queen of Clay. Advantage Swiatek. All right. Beautiful inside-out backhand that set up the rest of the point. Swiatek is feeling confident now. Serve again. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Good return. Swiatek gets it with the backhand. Sabalenka slice. And Swiatek. Forehand again to the backhand of Sabalenka. Into the back of Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand slice. Goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Cross court. The forehand of Sabalenka on the stretch. Goes wide. And Swiatek takes the lead. 5-4. Swiatek is fired up. The crowd love it. Chat. I told you yesterday with Djokovic Zverev, everything changed. This tournament felt real all of a sudden. And this match feels like that match. Where everything just feels like every point matters and it's intense, chat. There's so much going on. Everything changed yesterday. This just feels so much more like every game is so important now. All right, Swiatek 5-4. Sabalenka's going to serve to stay in the set. Just joining us, Sabalenka got to 3-love. And Swiatek's asking if Sabalenka's okay after that fall, and Sabalenka said, "Yeah, I'm good." I hope people see that and recognize that Swiatek cared. Anyways, 3-love, and then Swiatek got the break back, but then Sabalenka got the 4-1 with the double break again, and then Swiatek started to claw her way back and is now up in front. Now, remember yesterday, Gauff versus Keys. Keys was up 4-1. Came back to 5-4, got to the tiebreak. Keys won the tiebreak. So Sabalenka, if she is thinking about, I don't know why she'd be thinking about that, but you know, that happened yesterday. So let's see. Are Williams and Osaka retired? Why would Naomi Osaka be retired? She literally played last week. 5-4. Sabalenka serving down for the first time in this match. Serving the forehand to Swiatek. Good return. The forehand to Sabalenka, who smokes a winner down the line. Okay. Beautiful shot. $15-love. She serves the let Sabalenka. After this, we got Gauff taking on Boison. Emily Mauresmo in the house, by the way. Doesn't get enough credit for how good she was. In a time where Justine N was kicking everyone's ass, including Serena. Mauresmo, who at the time, I remember, Mauresmo was one of the most physical players, right? She was just like muscular and she was ripped. And she always struggled here. She never played well at Roland Garros. She came here and lost her first round every time. She was classic case of home ground disadvantage. But when she won that Australian Open against Ennen, when Ennen had to retire and everyone was saying that doesn't count, she came back 2 tournaments later, won Wimbledon, beating Ennen to prove that it wasn't a fluke. I love that for her. Got to world number 1. I think it was like 2006 when Justine was kicking ass. She took her down. Beautiful one-handed backhand as well. As the return goes out by Swiatek, and it's 5-5. Sabalenka holds, and she's like, why couldn't I do that 10 minutes ago? All right. Pretty sure Mauresmo's in the Hall of Fame as well. Pretty sure. If she's not, she should be, right? Pretty sure Mauresmo's in the Hall of Fame. I'm sure she would have been. Emily Mauresmo, 2015 inductee to the Hall of Fame. There you go. 2-time Grand Slam champion. Made the quarterfinals of the French twice, but it was really her worst. It was really her worst slam. She lost. Made the quarterfinal twice, but every other slam she made the quarterfinals multiple times. Yeah, only won 25 matches at Roland Garros. Lost 15 in 15 attempts. Whereas she won 38 matches in Australia, 33 matches at Wimbledon, 35 matches in New York. Did not like playing at home. All right, Swiatek. Love 15. As the return goes in from Sabalenka, Swiatek forehand cross. Sabalenka with the pass. Too good. Beautiful shot down the line. Love 30. I thought Swiatek might have hit a good enough approach. But Sabalenka just timed it perfectly. Love 30. That was a great approach too. That wasn't a bad approach. I mean, Swiatek hit a good shot. Sabalenka just better. Love 30. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. By the way, I can see a lot of people complaining about Sabalenka's grunting. You should be listening to me, not them, not her. Mute the screen. You can just listen here. I don't grunt. You can't hear her grunting here. As the return goes out by Sabalenka, 15-30. 15-30. $15.30. Swiatek serves again. First serve to fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the back into Sabalenka. Good return. Swiatek forehand cross. Sabalenka again to the forehand. Swiatek on the stretch, but Swiatek gets it out. 15-40. Sabalenka to take back the lead and serve for the set. $15-40. $15-40. Serve again. Here's a fault by Swiatek. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Sabalenka. Great return. Swiatek puts it out. And Sabalenka was always going to attack that second serve. All right, 6-5. Sabalenka's going to serve the set. All right, how we doing, chat? What is going on? We're almost at 700 likes. Appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow as well. Men's semi-final. We've got 6 matches left. French Open, 6.5, because this is almost half, well, 1 set down almost. 5.5 matches left for the tournament. What's their head-to-head? 8-5 in favor of Swiatek. 5-1 on clay to Swiatek. 3-all on hard courts. Never played on grass. Predicted tiebreak Swiatek, okay. 13 games first set, please. Shit, you need a tiebreak from the start. This must have been the worst set of tennis ever for you. You must be crying the whole time. It's brutal. All right. 6-5. Sabalenka, serving for the set. There's a return now from Swiatek. The back of Sabalenka. Sabalenka in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As we're to let. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. Backhand out by Sabalenka, and it's love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand Swiatek on the stretch. Goes long, and it's 15-30. $15-30. Serve again. As a return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Slice Swiatek in the net. 30-all. All. Serve again. To the forehand, Swiatek. Great return. Sabalenka in the net. Wow. Swiatek with a rocket return. 30-40. To get to the tiebreak. And what a tiebreak this will be. Arguably, the best two players on the planet. In my opinion, 1 versus 3 minimum. As the return goes in by Swiatek, Sabalenka backhand. Swiatek can't get there. She throws her racket onto the ground as she attempts to hit it. But it goes into the crowd instead. The ball goes in the crowd. The racket went on the ground. All right. Deuce. 7 to the back of Swiatek. Forehand from Sabalenka in the nets. Swiatek getting a free point there. Advantage Swiatek. Yeah, just slipped out of her hand. She just. All right, chance again. We need. I mean, this deserves a tiebreak, right? It's like yesterday with Keys Gauff. The tiebreak made sense. Advantage Swiatek. Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Serve to the back of Swiatek. Good return. Sabalenka goes down the line, but it's long. Tiebreak. Tiebreak. Swiatek breaks. We're going to the tiebreak, chat. Who's winning the tiebreak? Let me know. Who you got? Who you got? 7-4 Swiatek. Who you got, chat? 1 hour played. This is the match that we wanted. This is what we signed up for when we watched, when we saw the draw. Swiatek, Sabalenka, Swiatek. All right. A lot of people thinking Swiatek's going to win this tiebreak. All right, Swiatek serves. Down the tee. Sabalenka returns back to Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand. Inside out. Winner. And Swiatek getting a little annoyed. But keeps her cool. Sort of. 1-love. 1-0. Chat, you're probably asking, what's the tiebreak record this week for these two? Well, Swiatek this week has won 0 tiebreaks. Sabalenka has won 1 tiebreak. It's the first tiebreak Swiatek's had to play. And Sabalenka played a tiebreak in her match against Zhang first set, won that tiebreak. Swiatek has played a couple of 7-5s, but no 7-6s. 2-love. When they play each other, the tiebreak record is 1-0 Swiatek. They've only played 1 tiebreak, and that was the final set tiebreak in Madrid, where it went to championship point for both, 9-7 in that tiebreak. It's kind of crazy that in 12 meetings, this is the second time they played a tiebreak. And only the third time it's gone to 7-6 or 7-5. So they don't usually play close sets against each other. It's never usually down to the wire with these two. Anyways, 3-love. Sabalenka with a start. All right, I think we might need to just slow things down. People are getting a little too crazy. All right, 3-love. Is it a fault from Swiatek? Second serve. Second serve. Seven to the forehand to Sabalenka. Good return. Swiatek backhand slice into the forehand to Sabalenka. Drop shot. Swiatek gets with the backhand down the line. Sabalenka volley. Swiatek puts it away. Beautiful hands by Swiatek there. 3-1. 3-1. All right, Swiatek still has another point to serve. Three one. By the way, thank you, Boehm, for the 5 months. Appreciate that. And Swiatek serves. Down the tee. Sabalenka slices it back. Swiatek comes down with a forehand, but she pushes it wide. That was a tough shot. Good return by Sabalenka. Short, awkward shot, but it's 4-1 Sabalenka. 4-1 Sabalenka. By the way, Swiatek will be serving first in the second. 4-1. Ace down the tee. 5-1. They change ends. Beautiful serving by Sabalenka when she needs them. 5-1. 5-1 Sabalenka.
Cam, love your passion, your enthusiasm, your play-by-play, everything. Thank you.
Edgar with the 50. Holy hell. Thank you, Edgar, with the $50. You didn't need to do that. 5-1. Can we get some salutes for Edgar in the chat, please? 5-1 Sabalenka. And she serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Swiatek, but the return's out. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1 Sabalenka to take the first set tiebreak. Swiatek to serve. 5 set points. Serving to the backhand is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand of Swiatek is out. Sabalenka takes the first set, 7-6. Very much like yesterday's match with Keys and Gauff. Keys got the early lead. Gauff came back. Tiebreak went to Keys. The only difference is that Gauff had a chance to win the set. By the way, Sabalenka's going to serve first in the second. My bad. I forgot that Swiatek was serving. All right. Sabalenka takes the first set. All right. How we doing, chap? All right. Both ladies going to the bathroom. Both are going to the bathroom. Both players are going. Both players. Sabalenka as well. Everybody. They're both going to the bathroom. Bathroom police. That was funny. Whoever said bathroom police? Yeah. The bathroom police are they're out in force. Darren.
Cam, you were right and I was wrong about the Djokovic match yesterday.
Don't worry.
He's not too old, not injured, and can still win tournament.
Well, look, I think he loses to Sinner tomorrow, but that's all right. A lot of people... I make that mistake too, doubting Djokovic, and then he does things, and you're like, oh, whoops. We all learn when Djokovic defies gravity. All right. What else going on, chat? How we doing? Where are we watching from? I haven't asked that one today. Where are we watching from? Let me know where you're watching from. First set, by the way, 16 winners, Sabalenka, 15 errors. 15 winners and 22 errors by Swiatek. So obviously she needs to bring that 22 error count down. But that's mainly because Sabalenka's being aggressive and she's trying to hit the ball a little bit harder than she usually does, and that's where the errors are coming from. South Africa, we've got Bangladesh, England, Poland, Finland, Sydney, Orlando, Scotland, Malaysia, Japan, South Africa, Amsterdam, Germany. We've got India, Bangalore, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Pakistan, Philippines, Argentina, Norway, Botswana, Uganda. We've got Manila in the house. We've got Houston, France, Sweden, Nigeria. We've got Trinidad and Tobago. Got a lot of spacemen in the chat too, apparently. A lot of astronauts. A lot of Mercury and Jupiters in the chat too. People on the moon, it's crazy. I didn't even realize there was Wi-Fi on Jupiter. It's crazy. A lot of space cadets in the chat. Love to see it. A lot of space cadets. A lot of astronauts. Wales. We got Poland. We've got Taiwan in the house as well. Winnipeg. Thailand. Somebody's watching on the sun. How lovely. Where else we got? We got Massachusetts. We've got Germany, Hong Kong, Fiji, Serbia. Nice. All right. Sabalenka, by the way, back on the court. Just waiting for Swiatek to come back, and we will get second set started. We've got Texas in the house as well. People from everywhere. So good. Yeah, it is great. Love it. By the way, if you haven't already, send a postcard through. PO Box link in the chat. I have a couple of postcards here that I haven't that I have to open. So I went to the PO Box and there was a few postcards in there. So I'll go through these later today, probably maybe in the second match. But yeah, send your postcards through if you haven't already. If you want to send your postcards, there's the address. PO Box 290. We got a lot of postcards. I think like 180 postcards from all around the world. Send them through. Sabalenka's asking if she's going to be serving first, and the answer is yes. Hey, thank you, Nits, for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate that. Have I missed any other super stickers? No. Thank you for the $20 super sticker. All right. Sabalenka serving first in the second. She's got the first set. All right. Here we go. Sabalenka serves a fault. Thank you, DJ, for the 29 months. All right, 7-6 first set. Sabalenka's return from Swiatek is strong. She then comes in there with the forehand, but overhits it. Didn't need to hit it that hard. She was playing so well. All right. 15 love. Love. Serve into the... Oh, it was a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets it in the net. 15 all. I said it before and I'll say it again. This is the most wholesome tennis community on the planet. Thank you, DJ, for the nice words. That is true. We try to keep it that way. All right. Nice serve, Sabalenka. No, maybe. Wait. Umpire. Says it's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. The umpire is asking... So Sabalenka's asking the umpire what's going on. Why is Sabalenka serving first? I'll explain it to you on a whiteboard in about 30 seconds. All right. Second serve. Hawkeye said it was out as well. Second serve. And the Fortis Swiatek return goes long, and it's 30-15. All right, 30-15. Chat, we've upgraded the whiteboard. It's a little bit bigger now. All right, so Swiatek. Wait, is that a S? Close enough. And Sabalenka, right? So Swiatek serve first, Sabalenka second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've played 13 games, right? So Swiatek served first at the first game of the match. Then it was Sabalenka. Then Swiatek. Then Sabalenka. So it was 1 love Sabalenka. 2 love Sabalenka. 3 love Sabalenka. 3-1 Sabalenka. 4-1 Sabalenka. 4-3. Sorry, 4-2 Sabalenka. 4-3 Sabalenka. 4 all. 5-4. 5 all. 6-5. 6 all. And then this game is the tiebreak. So the tiebreak counts as a game, right? So Sabalenka served at 6-5 to get to the tiebreak. And then Swiatek, her game is the tiebreak. So then when we get to the new set, right? New set, Sabalenka's going to serve, right? Does that make sense? So Swiatek served first in the first set. And the tiebreak counts as a game. So Sabalenka's to serve after that. So even though Sabalenka technically served the last game, the Swiatek service game is part of the tiebreak. Sabalenka gets the deuce. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes? Make sense? I never noticed that? Yeah, so it's always the person who served last will serve second in the next set, right? So if it was a 6-4, right? So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6-4 would have cut it off here, which means that Swiatek would have served first in the second had it been a 6-4. But it wasn't. It was a tiebreak. So they played 3 extra games, including the tiebreak. So Sabalenka serves. It's whoever served in the previous game before, and the tiebreak counting as game, before the in the last set, then serve second in the second. Anyways, backhand winner Swiatek. Does that make sense? Yeah, that made sense, right? So yeah, here's our new whiteboard. It's a little bit more, I can draw on it. There's more to draw. All right. Anyways, advantage Swiatek to break first game of the second. Advantage Swiatek. Can I explain in football terms? Yes. So who kicked off in the first half, the other team kick off in the second half. It's basically the same thing. Whoever kicked off in the last game of the first set, the opposite person will kick off in the second set. Swiatek breaks. 1-love. All right. This match is too intense for a whiteboard. Let's lock in. Look, we've got to bring the whiteboard out at least once every other day. It breaks up the monotony of, it just chills it out a little bit. Especially the start of a set, we can just chill for a tiny second, catch our breath before we get into the intensity of the next set. It's a good question. People ask that question all the time. Why is this person serving? Blah, 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 blah. Hopefully now you know. All right. Swiatek, 1-love in the second. All right. Swiatek to serve. As a return from Sabalenka is a winner down the line. Great shot. Love 15. Beautiful return. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Sabalenka forehand goes wide down the line, and it's 15-all. Serve again. As the return goes out by Sabalenka, 30-15. First serve is a fault, second serve. As a return goes in the front of Swiatek, backing up from Sabalenka. And Swiatek back in the net, 30-all. Serve again. As that goes out by Swiatek, 30-40, breakback point. To get back on serve straight away. Serve again. First serve is a fault, second serve. As a return. Goes the back into Swiatek. Forehand from Sabalenka into the forehand Swiatek. Swiatek gets it wide. All right, 1-1. All right. As Sabalenka loses the first point, love 15. The screaming is not an issue unless they do it before the return. What? As a bit of fault, second serve. But the umpire's going to check. That did look in. It was good. So did Sabalenka win the point? No, first serve because Swiatek got it back, luckily. Had Swiatek not got that back, it would have been the point. Good serve by Sabalenka, unfortunately. All right, love 15. First serve again. Into the forehand Swiatek. Forehand Sabalenka goes long and it's love 30. Love 30 and Sabalenka looking stressed. Love 30. As that goes out again by Sabalenka. Love 40. Love 40. Serve again. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Seven to the forehand Swiatek. Good return. The back of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand. Into the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand again to the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand again to the back of Sabalenka. Hits it wide. We're back with the break. Swiatek lead. All right. 2-1. 3 breaks to start the second. We've had a lot of breaks in this match. All right. All right, how we doing, chap? Any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Shouldn't bet against Djokovic in a Grand Slam against someone who hasn't won one? Yep. Learned my lesson the hard way, that's for sure. Please hold for your life now and let's go to a third. Yeah, let's go. Prolonged grunt is a little obnoxious, but I'm sure most of her opponents are used to it by now. Yeah, has anybody actually, like, besides everybody who has to watch Sabalenka, and, you know, seems to be a lot of people that in the chat don't like it, but has anybody actually, like, any players actually said anything? Any players who have to play her have said it's a distraction, have said it's a problem? Because unless somebody who has to deal with it to play against it says something, then why are people in the chat, you might not like grunting in general, right? That's fine. It might be loud and annoying and you don't like it. But to say it's distracting the players when the players she plays don't seem to bring it up that much or at all. Zhang might have said it once. Okay, maybe. Okay. But I feel like we don't hear like Gauff and Swiatek and, you know, all the opponents being like, man, that grunt's a problem. I could have won this match if it wasn't for that grunt. Like, I don't think they blame Sabalenka's grunt for losing points. It's only, for some people, hard to listen to while they're watching and then say, whoa, it should be banned and it's a distraction. But I don't know if any players actually say it's a distraction. I haven't heard anyone be like, oh, Zhang said it. Zhang never said it. Well, I haven't heard her say it, so people in the chat are saying she said it. You're going to have to send me proof because I don't know. I haven't heard anyone say, yeah, Sabalenka's grunt distracted me to the point that I lost this match because of that reason. I haven't heard anyone saying that. Zhang never said that. There you go. Anyways, great serve. Swiatek down the tee. Whoops. It wasn't real? Nobody said that? Okay. So, yeah. So, I feel like there's a difference between... If you don't like her grunt, that's okay. You don't have to. That's fine. If you think it's annoying, you don't like it, and it's hard to listen, that's fine. I get it. But to go on and like say that she's like trying to cheat or the players are losing because of this reason is just not true because nobody's saying that. Like none of these players are saying that's the case. So I feel like just you don't have to like it, but accusing her of cheating and accusing her of distracting everybody when nobody has brought it up is like you can't go that far. You don't have to like it. Serena didn't grunt. Serena did grunt. Not as much, but she did. You don't have to like it, but you do have to say, you can't just start talking on behalf of the players and saying, well, they're getting distracted by it. Because they haven't said anything. Half volley from Swiatek's too good. That's a beautiful shot, 40-15. And if it's annoying, just mute the TV. I mean, you have the power of the TV. You can mute it. Men do it too? Well, yeah, that's it. Rafa grunted his whole career. Nobody mentioned a thing except for... Well, actually, nobody mentioned a thing, I don't think. I don't think anybody was like, Rafa's grunt is obnoxious. David Ferrer. The only one that's come up recent times which has been obnoxious was Sonigo at Wimbledon a couple of years ago, and Rafa wasn't a fan. That was it. It doesn't seem to be a problem. Is it a back-end rally? Now to the front of Sabalenka, the front of Swiatek. As with a slice from Swiatek, drop shot winner, Swiatek. A couple of really good shots. And it's Sabalenka, who is now down 3-1 in the second. Rafa didn't break windows with it either. We're starting to get into the vocals of men versus women's vocal cords. Rafa didn't have a high-pitched voice. So his grunt was also like, we're going to be like, okay, if you grunt, but you've got a lower, deeper voice, that's okay. But if you grunt and you've got a high-pitched voice, that's not allowed. Like, that doesn't make any sense if we're starting to police the way they sound and the way they speak, because that's, like Sabalenka, you can grunt, but it has to be like a deep grunt. Like a rrr. You can't grunt with a high pitch. Like, how silly is that? How do we, what are we policing grunt pitch? 15 low. Like, come on now. Come on. That gets ridiculous, right? If we start policing that. 30 love. But again, I feel like if the people that have to play against Sabalenka don't find it a problem, then we should all just move on. And you can mute your TVs and watch the match in silence if you don't like the noise. 30 love. She serves an ace down the tee. 40 love. Sabalenka to hold. 40 love. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As a return for Swiatek in the net. 3-2. Swiatek with the break. All right.
Hi, Cam.
Hi.
Noel's chances.
I reckon he gets a set, but I don't think he beats Sinner. Sinner's been so scary this week, but I think he could maybe get a set. But I don't think he can beat Sinner. I think Sinner's just been... And I'm not doubting the GOAT because I picked him to beat Zverev when most people didn't. But Sinner's like a whole different beast. The way Sinner's been playing this week, Alcaraz should be worried, even though Alcaraz hasn't been worried about Sinner in the past. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Djokovic gets a set. I think he can get a set. But I don't know if he can beat... Like, the way he's played is ridiculous. Like, he's been playing ridiculous. So scary. And I'm not just talking about Bublik. I'm talking about Rublev when he played Lehechka. I mean, the first sets of those matches were crazy. All right. We don't know if her opponents find the gross distracting just because they might not voice their concerns. Yeah, but we also don't know if they find it distracting because if they stay quiet, they might. You can make up things as well. Like, they're not saying anything, but they want to, or they're not saying anything because it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? So that's a terrible argument. Yeah, but the opponents are not saying anything because they're feeling it. How do we know that? They could, but they also couldn't. Like, now we're just playing guessing games. Like, anyways, 3-2. 3-2. Love Swiatek with the break in the second. All right, now we're going to move on from the grunting conversation because it's been too much. And Chad, if you're blaming grunting for losing, I mean, come on. 15-all. Like, if grunting is the reason you lost, I don't know about that. That seems a little bit like maybe something else happened in the match that maybe the grunt was like something. You know what I mean? I don't think the grunting would have made people lose. She's not number one because she distracted everybody. Backhand rally. Sabalenka hits it long. And it's 30-15. 30-15. As Swiatek serves again. Trying to keep this break. Serve is a fault. Second serve. (30-15). Serving to the back end of Sabalenka. Back end now from Swiatek down the line's a winner. Beautiful shot. 40-15. All right, so we've got Gauff versus Boison after this. And for all those people that are like, it's spelt with an S, not a Z, I'm Australian, and that's my accent. So I can't help my accent. In fact, I'm going to start getting really, really offended if you start critiquing my accent by saying I'm saying things wrong. Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people saying that I can't speak English. I can speak English. It's just called Australian. I can't help where I was born. As Swiatek gets a 4-2. I'm sick of this shit. It's not spelt with a Z. I can't say it properly, all right? Leave me alone. It's not my fault where I was born. 4-2. But we'll save those tears for the next match, right? Not here. The next match. When I get told that I'm saying it wrong every 5 minutes. 4-2 Swiatek. I'm trying my best. Exactly, LA. I'm trying my best. As we get a return the net by Swiatek, 15 love. As the return goes in the back end of Sabalenka. Swiatek slice, but Sabalenka's smacked the racket out of Swiatek's hand. 30 love. And Swiatek's throwing her racket around. Trying to get the ball back. As a return, goes out by Swiatek, the 40 love. And Swiatek is talking to the umpire and saying that the serve was out by Sabalenka, but it wasn't called, so wow, the umpire is saying, I'm not coming to look at the mark because the point was played. So apparently the serve was out by Sabalenka, according to Swiatek, but they played the point, and then Swiatek's like, the serve was out, and the umpire's like, well, I can't come down and check it now because the point's over. 40 love. Is it a fault? I'll tell you what, Swiatek's starting to hit the ball, and this is a tennis etiquette thing. Tennis etiquette is that if it's a fault, you don't usually return the serve if it's a fault. But she's returning the serve straight back to Sabalenka a lot today. I think Sabalenka's going to get pissed off at that. That goes out in the return, and Sabalenka holds 4-3. There's a unspoken tennis etiquette rule that if the person serving hits a fault, you don't try and hit it back. Right? That's just, at least that's what I was told. And Sabalenka's just going to check the mark. She's checking the mark, and she's like, that was probably on the line. But Swiatek, smacked the fault back straight to Sabalenka. And Sabalenka's like, what the hell are you doing? Can't hit it. What are you hitting at me for? Anyways. They didn't show the Hawkeye, so I don't know if... And I think maybe Swiatek... So it was... So Swiatek hit the return and then was like, wasn't it a fault? But she hit the return, so the umpire's like, I'm not coming out of the chair, okay? Chat, we need Hawkeye. I mean, come on now. I mean, I feel like we've had a couple of disputed Hawkeye mistakes over the last probably 6 weeks of clay court tennis, right? We had I think one in Sabalenka took a photo of one, and Zverev had a problem with one. But at Roland Garros, we've had so many more controversial line calls with no Hawkeye. Is it just me that thinks that, or do you guys feel that too? It didn't feel like Hawkeye got it wrong that much. There's some players that were definitely, that was out by this much, and Hawkeye said it was in. That's crazy. We've had a couple of those over the whole season. But here, it feels like we've had a lot more, disputes this week without Hawkeye. How accurate is it? It's as accurate as it can be. At least it can help with doubt. Human error to a point. It's not perfect, but it seems to have at least stopped some people getting really pissed off. It's the only major tournament in the world that doesn't have it. And I feel like it feels like it does. We've had a lot more umpire-player discussions. Maybe it's because when the umpire can just point at Hawkeye said it was in, I'm sorry. The Hawkeye said. So the umpire can't really get involved, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Anyways, Djokovic. He's playing tomorrow. Sabalenka hits a winner. And it's 15-0. 15-0. It's a lot calmer because you cannot argue with Hawkeye. Yeah, I mean, it kind of, you know. I agree, Cam. Put your sound down if it's annoying you. Yeah. That was like 10 minutes ago, but okay, yes. Anyways, good hitting there from Sabalenka. 15-0. These next couple of games are crucial for Swiatek. She's held on well, and she hits a forehand cross-court winner. That's better. 30-15. $30-15. Serve again. $30-15. Swiatek serves. To the back of Sabalenka. Return goes into the front of Swiatek, and she puts it away. 40-15. $40-15 to stay up the break and go to 5-3. As we get a lead on the first serve. And Swiatek serves again. And the return goes out by Sabalenka. Swiatek, 5-3. 5-3 in... 5-3 in the second. All right. Sabalenka serving to stay in the set. All right, second serve. To the back of Swiatek. Sabalenka forehand. Short ball to the back of Swiatek, who over hits it. 15-love. $15-love. Sabalenka serves a fault. And the return goes in the forehand of Swiatek. Sabalenka with a forehand on the baseline goes wide. Woof. That was a rough miss. $15-0. Both have had bad misses in this game. 15-0. As a return, goes the back end of Swiatek. Oh, that was a very late call by the umpire. Swiatek hit it out. The umpire took about 2 minutes to say out. The umpire, the central umpire confirms. The lines person was like dozing off or something. I don't know what happened. He's sleeping. That was out, Hawkeye said. By the way, Chad, I'm noticing that if Hawkeye doesn't show up on the broadcast, on a line call, it seems to be more controversial than when they confirm with Hawkeye that it was out. I don't know. I'm noticing the controversial line calls don't get shown as much. I feel like they just got to show every line call that's being disputed with Hawkeye on the TV, at least for us. But then I don't see it when they don't always show it when it's disputed. I'm like, well, why can't we use it on TV? What the hell's going on? And it's 40-15. As the return goes in the net by Swiatek. I feel like any discussion with the umpire and a line call, at least for the audience, they gotta show us. Seems like why we have the thing that tells us if it's right. Anyways, Swiatek's going to serve to take the second and take us to a third. By the way, chat, this is the time of the tournament where I talk about whether or not we should have 5-set matches for the ladies from the semifinals onwards. As you know, I'm a big proponent of more tennis, especially at Grand Slams. And I feel like if we had 2 5-set matches today, best of 5-set matches today, it would be much better for the tournament. It would be much more fun for us. And I feel like the ladies from the semifinals onwards could easily adopt 5-set tennis so that this match can be even more epic than it has been already. I know there's always debates about whether or not the fitness levels are there, whether or not there's the quality of the tennis is there, all that stuff. But we have those debates when you have other players as well. So I want 5 sets. I want this to be 5 sets. Imagine if this was 5 sets. Going in at 1 set or to a 3rd set and then going to a 4th. I mean, who doesn't watch Swiatek Sabalenka 5-setters? I do. One day, maybe it will happen. And there it is. There's my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. All right. Swiatek serving for the second. Swiatek serves. To the back of Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand cross court into the front of Sabalenka. Sabalenka in the net. 15 love. By the way, chat, we didn't even mention this though. Sabalenka was crazy good in the first set at times, right? But it's almost been 2 hours. And I feel like she is making a lot more errors. Fatigue? She hasn't played that much tennis this week compared to Swiatek, but just within this match, playing going up to 2 hours, maybe Sabalenka's making more errors because she is getting a little tired. She hasn't played long matches yet. This is the longest match she's probably played all week. 15 love. As the return goes in the backhand of Swiatek, falling out from Sabalenka to the forehand. Swiatek sliced. As Sabalenka drop shot. Swiatek gets it with a slice down the line. Sabalenka volleys. Swiatek volleys. A winner. Lovely rally. 30-all. Good rally by both. $30-all. 30-all. David, you don't want to see 5-set women's matches because you've seen them in person. But I would argue that when you did see them in person, I'm guessing in the 90s, because that's when they did have them in tournaments. The tennis now, I feel like, is a much better standard. And it's hard to judge because, rackets and styles and all that stuff, it's hard to judge whether or not the 90s was better than the 2000s, was better than the 2010s. But I would argue that this era, 2025, is a better quality overall and more interesting because there's maybe more variety, a little bit more variety than there was back then. That's my argument, but you might be right. Anyway, set point Swiatek. What the hell? So it was 30 love. I'm blind. 30 love. It was 30 love. Now it's 40 love. And now it's set point. I'm just looking at everyone talking about grunting. I'm losing my mind. Anyways, backhand return. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand now from Sabalenka into the forehand of Swiatek. Sabalenka slice on the stretch. Swiatek down the line. Sabalenka puts up a lob and Swiatek comes in and volleys it away. We're going 3, baby. We're going 3. For the 3rd time in this matchup, it's going to a 3rd. Okay. Swiatek takes the 2nd. Sabalenka will be serving first in the third. Okay. 1 set all. Nearly 2 hours played. Grand Slam semifinal. This feels like a Grand Slam semifinal. This is a Grand Slam semifinal. Should be 5 sets. Make them earn equal pay. There it is. There's the one person that didn't get the point that I was making. But fair enough. I get it. I mean, Jannik Sinner hasn't dropped a set yet. He's won all these matches in 3 sets. When there could be players that win on the women's side 3 sets every day. But hey, you know, there's always someone who gets shitty at that one thing. Swiatek has the edge on clay, yeah. But she's serving second in the third. We'll see if that makes a difference. All right. By the way, that second set, 8 winners Sabalenka, 10 errors. 12 winners Swiatek, 8 errors. So Swiatek limited those errors that I said in the first set. Remember, she had 22 errors. And she had to bring those errors down if she was going to be better against Sabalenka, which she did, and she was. Sabalenka was about the same in that set, winner to error. This has been great tennis. Should be a good final set. Yeah, look, the match of the year was Swiatek versus Keys. That was match of the year so far. But this, it has potential. Like it depends on the final set, but that's a high bar to try and like that match was ridiculous. But this match it could be match of the year if it goes certain ways. It has to be close though. If this final set's 6-2, it's not going to catch it. But it's got potential. We're in the right spot. We're in a third set. We're halfway there. 15-love. It just has to be an epic third set to be in the conversation for match of the year. As we're back in return now, the 4 to Sabalenka. Sabalenka in there, 15-0. Potential match of the year, exactly. All right. By the way, I'll say this one thing about, just so maybe it would just educate some people that think that like Grand Slams equal pay, equal play. There are a lot of tournaments outside of the slams where the ladies don't get paid equally, right? 1,000 events, for example, some of them you get equal pay, some of them you don't. Yet, they play the same. So, at the end of the day, if you added up every single match that Sabalenka played compared to Sinner or someone else like an Alcaraz, and you worked out their prize money, that would be an interesting conversation we could have in the future. But there are the smaller tournaments don't offer equal pay for everything. It's the slams that do. So it might actually end up working out in the end that, okay, well, the men do get compensated for more play, not at the slams, but in general, because there's tournaments that are smaller. I think Cincinnati in Canada, they don't pay the same, or they didn't pay the same, yet they're the same draw size. It's not that the ladies play one less match. Just something to think about. 30-all. As the return goes to 4 to Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets a winner. That's too good. 40-30. Title on Twitch is wrong. There's nothing better than somebody telling me that something's wrong. I appreciate that. 40-30. Chad, don't you love getting corrected? I can't do anything about that. That's too bad. Plus, Djokovic is playing tomorrow. So, anyways, one love Sabalenka. Thank you for bringing that up, though. But I have seen you spam it all day, so thank you. I took notes in private. All right. Sabalenka starts strong this time. Swiatek, by the way, is putting on, I think, might be some blister, prevention on her hand, which is interesting. All right, 2 hours and 1 minute played. Swiatek to serve. And the return goes out. $15 love. Swiatek serves. A fault. Serve again. It's a double fault. But the umpire's going to check. By the way, chat, people that are concerned about equal pay, equal play, I'm always so interested to know, why does it matter to you so much? What brings you to be so involved, so passionate about that particular thing? Because at the end of the day, you're not paying the players. It's not coming out of your pocket. Why is it so important to you? Why does it matter so much? Because it doesn't matter to me. I couldn't give two shits if they get paid, the same for less work. I don't care. So why do people get so upset by it? I don't understand. As the slice goes into the backhand volley of Sabalenka. Oh, it just goes wide though. Maybe they should get paid per match. If it's a good match, you get paid more. This match should be paid more than the matches with Sinner. Because Sinner's matches have been boring. In comparison to this is more entertaining. So this match should get more pay. It should get paid per match, depending on how good it was. It should be how many games won and lost. It shouldn't be based on what round you get to. It should be based on, if you win 6-love, sorry, you don't get paid as much. And Sinner, I'm so sorry. You've been so dominant, you get paid less because you're boring me and we need better tennis we need closer matches from you. Play Alcaraz again. 30-15. That would be psycho. We're not doing that. We couldn't do that. All right, return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand up to Sabalenka. Cross court again. The forehand of Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand. Into the backhand of Swiatek. And Swiatek overhits at 30 all. All right, serious. Lock in now. Enough mucking around. Lock it in. We're locking in. We're locking in. 30 all. 30 all. Sorry, Sinner was the only choice because he's so dominant. It was a compliment to use Sinner as the example because he's so good. He's winning so easily. That's the only example I could find. He's the only one that wins matches quickly, all right? 30 all. As the backhand return goes into the backhand. Sure, no, Swiatek in the net. 30-40. 30-40. Breakpoint Sabalenka. Breakpoint for Sabalenka. The first test of the third set. Serve. Is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand. Swiatek sliced. Goes in the forehand of Sabalenka. Swiatek in trouble. Sabalenka forehand again. Swiatek forehand on the stretch. Goes in the net. And there's the break first. Games of the third. 2-love Sabalenka. She strikes first. Sam.
From what you have seen so far, who you think wins this? Can you please explain tactically how they are attacking each other? Thanks, Cam Trophy.
I'm still going Swiatek in 3, but that's just because I'm not changing my prediction. I mean, look, Sabalenka has been solid for the entire match, right? She's been pretty even. Like, she's hit a lot of errors, like 24 errors, 23 winners, right? She's been like that the whole day. Swiatek first set, she was not playing well. She went down to a 4-1 deficit, mostly because her errors, but also Sabalenka came out on fire. Second set, Swiatek cleaned it up, which is why she won the set. She broke early, she held, but yeah, it's really just been, and also with the more points won, Swiatek's serve was getting better. She was gaining more confidence on serve, but yeah, Sabalenka's been sort of like, she started off really hot, dropped down a little bit, but she's sort of been at that solid level the entire match. Swiatek was the one who kind of was shook in the first couple of games and then recovered. Second set, she was much better. And then now, Sabalenka is off to a flyer. As that goes wide by Swiatek. This is where Swiatek needs to keep her cool, though, because she did come back from 3-love down, double break in the first set. Or 4-1 down, double break. It's just a little different now because you can't afford to lose this set. You can afford to lose the first set. All right. 15-love as the return goes out from Swiatek. 30-love. 30-love. Swiatek needs to just remember that this is only one breaker serve. But does she trust her serve enough to hold and then get the break back? That's the question. I can't show you on the screen. We'll get banned. 40-love. 40-love Sabalenka to take a 3-love lead. All right. 40-love. Serving to the forehand, Swiatek returns a winner, 40-15. Norma, that's exactly what I'm saying. As a backhand return. And then Sabalenka hits a backhand win up. It's 3-love. Andrew, you want the tactics? Sabalenka's trying to hit the shit out of the ball and hit winners, which is exactly what she's been doing for her whole career. Swiatek's trying to defend. That's about it. I mean, there's not really that. It's not like a mind-blowing tactical. I mean, we know how these two play, right? It's the tactics haven't changed. Sabalenka's trying to attack Swiatek's serve. Swiatek's trying to get first serves in so she doesn't get attacked. There's not much else, really. The tactics are pretty basic. It's always been about Sabalenka being aggressive and Swiatek having to work her way through it. The serve's been vulnerable for Swiatek, as we'd expect against someone like Sabalenka, and Sabalenka, by making a lot more errors in the second, or making some errors in the second set, has given Swiatek easier service games, but then Swiatek now is down 3-love because Sabalenka's found her groove again. Yeah, it doesn't change much. I mean, it's pretty simple. But I understand what you're saying, Andrew. I take it on board. All right. Narrative hasn't changed. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to, it's pretty simple. There's not too much, it's pretty simple, tennis 101 tactics. Sabalenka's trying to use her strengths of power against Swiatek's vulnerability on serve, which is working at times, which is why we've had so many breaks. But Sabalenka's also not serving as well as she could. Her second serve has also been picked on, you can see there, 39%. All right, Swiatek has to hold here. I know the first set was 4-1 double break, but 4-love in the third is not is not going to work because you can't afford to lose this set like you can the first. And Swiatek hits out love 15. This game is massive for Swiatek. Sabalenka again, just hitting the ball deep, and Swiatek's getting frustrated. By the way, everyone who said Swiatek was done in the first set came back and said the same thing again. Can we just get a little more creative? Swiatek's done. Weren't you here 2 hours ago? Love 15. Second serve. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Swiatek backhand goes wide. Love 30. Swiatek's starting to look nervous too. Love 30. Love 30. By the way, next match we've got Gauff taking on Boison. So we've still got one more match after this. It feels like the last match of the tournament. It's not. We've got another match. And then we've got a match on Saturday between the winner of this and the winner of the next one. All right, love 30. 7 to the backhand of Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand goes wide. Love 40. Swiatek's just stopped moving her feet in this game. Sabalenka's hit some good returns, but Swiatek's just sort of feet are stuck on the ground. Love 40. For a double break. Swiatek serves. Is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Serving to the backhand. Sabalenka. Good return to the back of Swiatek. Who goes down the line. Sabalenka slice. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Sabalenka backhand again to the forehand of Swiatek. Who overhits it. 4-love Sabalenka. Double break. 4-0. All right, 4-0. Sabalenka to serve. She's got the insurance break. Hopefully, she's not thinking about 2 years ago at this stage. Remember what she was up? Was she up 5-2 against Mukova? Hopefully, that ain't in her. She ain't thinking about that shit. Serving to the forehand, Swiatek. Return goes to forehand, Sabalenka. Swiatek forehand again goes wide. Swiatek's making so many errors. I think she's panicking. 15-love. Oh, Mia, you alright? You okay? You okay? You're sleepy. All right. Good serve, Sabalenka, 30-love. Love. Sabalenka 6 points away from her first French Open final. Serving to the forehand, Swiatek, who shanks it wide. 40-love. I tell you, chat, if this is the last match of the streak for Swiatek, to lose to Sabalenka, for Sabalenka to snap the streak, I mean, if you're Swiatek, it's probably not the worst player to lose to. I mean, you know what I mean? As the return goes wide, Sabalenka, again, Swiatek's just taking lunging steps. Her feet are not moving enough. Again, maybe because she's nervous, maybe because she's tired, maybe because she's a combination of those things. Sabalenka 5-love. But Swiatek's feet are not moving. And that has ended in 5-love in this set. It'd be a hell of a comeback if it happens. But to lose to Sabalenka, the world number one, is, like I said, it's not a bad loss. Really. Man, could Sabalenka win 3 slams in a row? I mean, and then go to Wimbledon, where she should have won by now because she was banned and injured from the last couple. I mean, chat, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm doing it anyway. Could Sabalenka win 4 slams in a row? And then go into the US Open? I think she can win Wimbledon. I mean, she should have won Wimbledon by now, but she was... 2020 got cancelled. 2021 she lost to Barty. 2022 she got banned. 2023 she lost to Jabeur. And last year she was injured. So she's only played 2 out of the last 5 Wimbledons. And I think everybody thought she was going to win a Wimbledon before anything else. All right. Swiatek to serve to stay in the match. Good serve, 15 love. Oh, sorry. Keys won in Australia. oh. Chad, I'm going on holidays. I'm out of here. I think after this week, you ain't going to see me. I'm going away. I need to leave. 15 love. Double fault 15-0. Let me rephrase what I was saying. Could she win the Korea Grand Slam? That's what she's going to do if she wins this and then goes to Wimbledon. Could she be the first player in a long time to win the Korea Slam? Nobody thought that was possible. I don't think anyone thought 3 years ago that, oh yeah, Sabalenka is going to win all 4 slams in her career. I feel like this is the hardest one too for her. Maybe mainly because Swiatek's been so dominant. Anyways, 15-30. Gauff's going to win the slam. Well, I picked Gauff to win the slam. So, I mean, if that happens, whoopee. Yay. Go me. All right, 15-30. Yeah, we'll just edit that out later. It's all good. Yeah, get me on the plane to the Philippines tomorrow. Returns a winner, Sabalenka, to serve a bagel to Swiatek to snap the streak. I mean, that's a... What is that? 15-40. Man, Sabalenka is that good. 15-40. Swiatek still second most wins in a row at the French Open for the ladies. Even if it ends in a bagel. Second serve. And Sabalenka will be 1 match away from completing 3 out of the 4 slams. And we've got Gauff taking on Boison next, so get ready. Second serve. Into the back of Sabalenka. That's a winner. Wow. Sabalenka is into the final of her 3rd straight Grand Slam. They hug it out. Swiatek's streak ends. She still won, 3 of the last 4, 5 of the 4, 4 of the last 6? And she loses the world number 1, 6 love. Jeez. Sabalenka said, enough. Enough with this. We're getting the hell out of here. GG's. But I'll tell you this, chat. Now Swiatek can rebuild. Now she can rebuild. She's dropped the points. She hasn't won a title in 12 months. She can start from scratch. If this is rock bottom, she can start again from now. Because I'll tell you her ranking. Her ranking as of now. And she had a lot of points to defend, we all know. She's number 7 in the world. It's not the worst part. It's not the worst thing. She's dropped to number 7. She's in the pack between Paolini and Keys. There's like 400 points between those players. So she's in between 4 and 8. And she can move within that by doing well at certain tournaments coming up. So she's not in the big 3 anymore. That's reserved for 6,000 and above points. But she is in, like, sort of in the traffic jam that's 4 to 8. And she's down the bottom of the traffic jam, but now she has nothing to really lose. Because remember, she didn't play the Asian swing. She didn't win the WTA finals last year. The US Open, she didn't do much. She didn't play great she didn't play Canada. Wimbledon's also, obviously, she doesn't have million points to defend. So now she can go, all the points are gone. Everything's gone. She can rebuild. Does that mean rebuild the team? Does that mean rebuild her game? What does that mean, rebuild? I don't know. But it feels like this is rock bottom for Swiatek. This is where she can restart. All the points are gone. All the pressure's gone, right? All the pressure of defending, that's gone. And now she can start again and try and get back to the top three, at least to the top three. Because I think she showed today. Sabalenka's been beating players that are higher ranked than Swiatek now. Easier. So we know Swiatek's better than 7 in the world. So let's see whether or not Swiatek does make some moves after this tournament, or if she waits until after Wimbledon to do a reset. But, man, Sabalenka. 3 Grand Slam finals in a row. She's obviously won a couple of slams already. Trying to win a French Open for the first time. First French Open final. Sabalenka is scary, chat. Sabalenka, like I've said before, is kind of like a little bit of Serena, a little bit of Sharapova. A bit of a hybrid. The power of Serena and the height of Sharapova and the intensity of both. She's a bit of both. I mean, it makes sense that she's the best player because over the time, the best player in the world has had both those players' attributes. At least the players that have stayed at the top for the most part. I know Barty and, obviously Swiatek with maybe an exception, but, players like, Osaka in the past and players like whoever else. Anyways, we're not done yet. We're still going to watch the second match. So we've got Gauff taking on Boison, which nobody expected to have that match be the thing. So I'm going to send you over to that one. And we can talk more about what is next for both players that we just watched. We can also talk about what's going on with the final. But jump on over here and talk amongst yourselves. The crowd's going to be wild for this one. And they just got treated to a great match. So let's see if they catch fire even more. But good win by Sabalenka. She gave away a lead at the start, but it wasn't detrimental to the first set. 7-6. Second set, Swiatek came back, got to 6-4, and then Sabalenka went, I've had enough of this, and she wins the final set in about 20 minutes in 6-love fashion. She's into her first French Open final. She stopped Swiatek, who is the queen of clay, and she's trying to take that throne. It'll be on Saturday. Who's she going to play? We'll find out next.